Thursday, which means it's time for another video. Sorry about the noise in the background, that's the air conditioner. I've stated that in a previous video. It gets very hot in this apartment, so not always have to have the air conditioner on, but I usually put it on before I leave for work, which is why I'm doing this video. I'm currently almost leaving for work, so I'm going to be doing this review quick. And it was actually another request. It was a request to review the original Hills Have Eyes, which I actually, somewhere, I don't know if you can see it, I have the Arrow release of it, but I actually watched it on Tubi because at the time we were getting ready to watch other films, so my fiance and I were rewatching the Phantasm franchise again, even though we've seen the movies before plenty of times. I was just kind of watching The Hills Have Eyes before we watched Phantasm, so I kind of just watched it on Tubi. And I forgot how good the original Hills Have Eyes was. And I will say, not a lot of people like the original Hills Have Eyes Part 2, but I actually enjoy it. I know there's not a lot of people that like it, but it's still a good movie. But I'm not talking about the sequel, I'm talking about the original. It is a little outdated. It was made in 1977, directed by Wes Craven, obviously before Nightmare on Elm Street. I noticed in this movie that Dee Wallace is actually in this, like young Dee Wallace. It's a pretty decent movie. They basically a family gets stuck in a desert, and there's a cannibal family living in the desert, and they are struggling for food basically, and basically they are picking off these people one by one, but some people still live. And I know in the remake they kind of talk more about the family, and they're a little more grotesque looking. These ones that are grotesque looking, but they're not like hugely deformed like they are in the remake. The remake's pretty good too. One of the few instances where a remake is actually pretty well done. I know there's a lot of people out there that say that the remake is better than the original. I don't really know. After watching it, I really enjoyed the original. It's been a while. When I rewatched it again for this review, it's been quite some time since I actually sat down and watched the original Hills Have Eyes, and I just really enjoy it. It's a fun movie. Definitely keeps you entertained. For a older Wes Craven movie, it's really well done. And I know before that he did Last House on the Left. That's another movie that I haven't seen in quite some time. But if you guys haven't seen The Hills Have Eyes, definitely watch it. It is great. Michael Berryman is amazing. He returns in the sequel. And the daughter in this, Ruby, she doesn't want to be like them. She's kind of like rebelling against them, and she ends up surviving because she wants to be a normal human, and she's actually in the sequel too. The sequel is definitely weird because it's one of the few instances where they have a dog has a dream. Like the dog is having like a nightmare. It's weird. It's just a strange film, but I still enjoy it. But yeah, it's basically all I have to say about the original Hills Have Eyes. If you haven't seen it, you're really missing out. But I figure if you guys are watching this review, you probably have seen the original Hills Have Eyes. It is on Tubi if you don't have it, so you can check out. It's where I watched it. You should go check it out on there. And while you're at it, go check out the sequel. I mean, it's not everybody's favorite, but it's a good movie in my opinion. The only reason it got made was basically for extra cash for Wes Craven. They came out like right after Nightmare on Elm Street too, so but yeah, that's all I gotta really say about The Hills Have Eyes. Go check it out if you haven't. Great movie, great scenery. I love that they're like in the desert. It's just a fun like desert horror movie. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. I'm gonna be doing a review of the remake of House of Wax on Monday. But if there's a movie you guys want me to review, just comment down below on this video. Let me know what that is, and I'll be sure to get to it as soon as possible. In the meantime, I'll see you guys on Monday.